Welcome back, everyone. It's New Mutator bringing you the next game, the second game of Myth Kickballers Week 7. So this is Lichen unto Death. It is going to be Flag Rally, and it is between our two captains here, Thor and Paris. So Paris I've actually featured on my channel, so that's something to, well, if you, it's something to check out if you haven't already. When did he join me? It was for the bottom bracket finals, I believe, of Myth World Cup 2012, as well as we played a few games of the maps in anticipation of the finals. Finals match between Southern Parkians and my team. So, not my team, but Grimm's my team. Here we go again. So it is going to be Paris. He's going to be starting up in the northeast side there, and in the southwest opposite him it is going to be Thor. It's going to be interesting, I think, this game. This match, let's see, I'll refresh your memories. Who's on the captain's teams here? It is HW, Falcon, Arsenic, Drowned, myself, Mercadon, and Renwood here joining Paris. For Thor, we have Rower, Sam the Butcher, Valky, Dom, Dak, or Dakman, as it says here, Evil Jake, and Demolition, rounding out that team for Thor. And these teams were chosen kickball style, so one pick at a time, I imagine, or unless it was done otherwise. I did show up a little bit late, but I did manage to make it into the first game, displacing, I believe, Killery. So sorry for that, Killery. And this may be the last Myth Kickballers that I cast, since the Winter Series is underway. But we'll see what happens with that in the future. I'll go ahead and look at these trades. It looks like we have a pretty heavy melee trade with max goals, warriors, and a lot of thrall. Only two dwarves, which I think is the maximum. No, it's not the maximum. We have 3 dwarves here. And not maybe like half goals, not quite max warriors, and only 4 thrall altogether here for Bucky G's team, Paris. And instead he's going to opt for a lot of archers, and I don't think Thor's getting very many archers at all. Yeah, hardly any archers. And it's very curious, because it's almost like Thor's team is going to rely on these thrall, which are notoriously slow moving, albeit cheap. They're extremely cheap at only 1 unit trading point a piece, whereas, you know, something like a dwarf is worth 6. So in order for it to be worth it, a dwarf needs to kill 6 thrall, or equivalent. So that's something to keep in mind too whenever you're, you know, a captain and you're basically doling out the unit trading points to whichever units that you're gonna get. That's something to keep in mind also. So yeah, what do we got going on? We got Thor fanning out. He's probably going to send a force up here for flag 4. It looks like that is going to fall to Dakman here. And he's probably going to send some stuff out east as well. And it looks like these Thrall are going to try to make the long journey Valky on that flank with Dom. So that's interesting. And Paris's team, it looks like most of them run in mid, and I think they might run into Thor's team there as well, since Thor taking a goal pack for himself. Most of these goals are not going to have pus.
Flag
and they're probably going to run into Paris's team at one point. It looks like they're going straight for flag 3, and there's not really a whole lot here to defend. Falcon is going to try to put his archers up to maybe defend, but I don't know, there's only so much archers can do against like a lightning fast force, such as like a rush being led by goals, for instance. So he's going to need this, Falcon's going to need this dwarf to play a huge role in blunting this attack if it's to happen. It looks like there's ample range units here, but not a lot of melee, and it looks like, you know, there's a few archers, but it's very you know, melee centered, this force here for Thor. So that's curious. Looks like that unit there going to be taking out Arsenic in the wrong place at the wrong time. He is going to try to, nope, it's going to take a little bit of damage, but Thor basically leading the way for the rest of his units. That dwarf is in nowhere no position to deal any damage at all. He might do a little bit, but wow, that was an interesting puzz. Backfired. Huge backfire, and that was pretty huge, that dwarf going down and all these warriors being taken out by arsenic. So that didn't work out for Paris's team. As you can see, are 85-91%. They are pretty down in percentages. It looks like Renwood going to run in and maybe try to do something here.
Flag.
And try to work on that general. But meanwhile, all that's left, since Arsenic's warriors were taken out, are these archers here. And so you're going to see this the percentage plummet in just a moment, as that pus was laid down. But I think it was kind of a waste. Like, look, that's how far those archers needed to travel to find reinforcements. So they had ample time to focus those down. Looks like these archers are going to be rushed from HW, but these two dwarves here going to basically send them packing. Meanwhile, Mercadon going to run in and maybe try to clean up this flag. But the other thing to keep in mind is that it's flag rally. So really, Paris's team needs to focus on tagging this flag, tagging this flag, and tagging this flag. And you know, so far they've tagged this flag and this flag. I think I had a lone goal like all game long. I don't know where he's at. He's over here or something. But just scouting out, that's all I had this game. So I didn't really have a whole lot. And now it looks like Dak going to just rush in here and take this flag through brute force. And surprisingly, the percentages are somewhat even, and it looks like I would say that's because of this force here, Mercadon and company. They're able to kind of clean up these archers and whatnot and do a little bit of damage. But you know, the BC game isn't going to win them the game. You know, they can out BC Thor's team at this point in time, but what they really need is some mobility, and they need to run in and tag some flags as soon as possible. This flag goes down. Dak ends up cleaning up the thrall, and it looks like these thrall from Valky going to slowly lumber into flag number 3 and maybe wrest that from Mercadon's control. I don't think a warrior can deal with 2 thrall. I think that's a little bit too much for him, or a lot too much. The case may be. 1-on-1 warrior might do quite well, but 2-on-1 not going to stand a chance. Do hardly any damage at all. And these goals here, Thor going to run in and basically end it right then and there. Not a whole lot we could have done, as you know, surprisingly the percentages were quite close at this point in time. But like I was saying, you know, most of our forces were kind of marshaled around flag number 2, which had already fallen to Thor's team, so it didn't really help us all that much. As you can see here, you know, there's Mercadon's forces here basically trying to chase down Dak, I believe, but we had nothing over here, and it looks like yeah, we didn't have any offense this game. So that was kind of how so this is how I see what happened. We kind of got off to a rough start because of the mishap involving the dwarf and Arsenic's warriors here. So we kind of fell back to defend, but having lost his flag already, we were kind of struggling to defend at that point. So we lost the momentum. Basically, we didn't have any momentum. We fell back, and then we tried to claw our way back into the game, but as a result we lost the game type. That's kind of what I see. I don't know. That's kind of what I see happening, but I don't know if I expressed it very well. But yeah, so this is basically the stats for the game. Let's take a look. Looks like Thor did pretty well for his team. He had the gold pack and basically melee and stuff like that. 14 survivors, so he also had a lot of stuff. And I think he basically carried his team here, although, you know, Dak taking this flag and Valky taking this flag actually secured the win for his team. For Paris's team, it looks like HW, nope, looks like Renwood actually getting damage for his team, although Renwood didn't quite break positive ratios. 3 kills, 4 losses. Actually, HW doing pretty well though with 7 kills, 0 losses. So he probably did pretty well in the aftermath, basically trying to clean up the forces that were that were kind of left behind, left in the wake of the push on our flags. So that's going to be it for game number 2. Game number 3 is going to be next, and we'll see you in the next game.
Game over.